Hi, I'm Princess Rukwaro Miritis. I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, and I'm a gospel musician, and I'm also a HR person. I'm married to Dennis Miritis. This is actually our 4th month, so we are basically still in honeymoon, although it doesn't feel like it. Yeah.
Why doesn't it feel like it?
Because it feels like we've known each other for longer.
Oh, awesome. So my name is Dennis Miritis. I'm also a gospel musician. We apparently do music together. I'm a human resource consultant also, working with a company. And we also own our studio, Records and a Group Limited. And I am married to this beautiful lady.
2017.
Is it 2017?
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Yeah, so we met on Facebook. He was brought to me as people you may know, and that time I was developing my music, so I was looking for people we have common interests. So I ended sending him a friend request. And
when I received the request, I was like, oh, macho inaona. So I was like, this lady could be the one I've been looking for. I was praying. I was seriously praying for a partner. And when I saw her, even on our first date, I did not talk about dating. I told her direct that what I'm looking for in you is not a girlfriend. I am looking for a wife. And all that was very offensive.
Of course, on our first date, we don't say that.
Because she did not expect me to talk about marriage on our first date. But me, my mind was made up. And the moment I saw her, there was something special. It wasn't like other friend requests I had received before. I could say that that was so special. And we started chatting about music, still on Facebook. And then our very, very first meeting, we met in her church for a fellowship, a midweek fellowship.
An evening fellowship.
Yeah. And the rest is history. I think we were friends for some time.
For a few months.
She told me to wait, as usual. So I kept asking her, now, when? And she kept telling me next month. No, I wanted to know that we are moving to the next level of friendship. So this day we were going for a friend's wedding. And now after the wedding is when she told me, okay, and it was so casual that today can be our official day of starting dating. I was like, hey. I remember it was on 8th of August. And then from that point, I can say that we started, like, from the day we met, we've been growing and growing and growing. Of course, there are challenges, but we learned there are some promises we made to each other, and we have learned to keep the promises.
So I think for me, it was outstanding how he was honest. And I remember from the second official date, he was already telling me he's broke. So from the other date, please let's not go to a place where we are going to spend. And that was supposed to be like a turn off, but for me it wasn't. It was like an honest thing. And he was sort of vulnerable. I think so. Yeah.
So yeah, on our first date, hapo nilijichocha.
You created a big impression.
Created an impression, and I always used to be in suits. I used to be in three-piece. This HR consultant, that time I was working for a firm that was doing HR consulting. So I was an HR consultant, and I had a business card that I would always present when things go wrong. So this time I take her to a nice hotel, our first date. It must have been at the end of the month. And now the next week as we are chatting, I tell her, you know, the next date, we have to be creative not to go to an hotel because I honestly was broke. And then she tells me there is no problem. So we used to go to a certain joint she know. She took me to the joint and she would pay the bill.
Yeah, 200 maximum. Chapati and tea. They have a very big chapati. Yeah. So if you do that, around 6, you're sorted for supper.
And that was good for me because I would not eat at home. At least I was sorted for supper. Here comes December, and I decide now, since you're moving to New Year, now this year, I make sure that I give her something that she would remember for the rest of her life. And I buy an engagement ring. That's when it was on 23rd. On 23rd, we did not go for Christmas. We had no money. We had like nothing. So we decided that the little we have, just look for a place, just go enjoy ourselves and go back home. So I bought a ring, I think less than 1,000.
Sure. There were two.
Oh yeah, each at 1,500, I think. So I bought a ring, and when I engage her, she's excited, and then she's crying. And then I was, hey, she's so excited to a point that she's crying. Later I came to know that she wasn't crying because of the engagement. She was asking herself, where is this man taking me? When I started talking about a wedding, for her she told me, I have always desired a princess wedding.
Of course.
If you look at her pages, she calls herself Princess Rokwaro. So she has taken the princess status. And I was like, you know, I believe this can happen. So as we were going on, things started looking like they're not the way we are seeing them. So one day, I decided to just stay in the house on a Sunday, and I was asking God some questions about the wedding, future, and stuff. And then God talks to me clearly. Actually, it's like we were having a conversation with God, and God was asking me, where you are right now, who has brought you to that place? I have worked with companies I am sure I did not deserve to work with, and I have been in places that I know I did not deserve. So God was challenging me. What is these small things that you're talking about that you think I cannot solve? And then he told me, your work is to plan your wedding, and I will finance it.
So the process of planning for a wedding, dowry, was smooth. It was actually smooth with the help of friends and our Hekima, Hekima Center Church. I think they were so supportive of us, starting from introduction. Some men joined us on the dowry. They all came. And I mean, from the dowry to the wedding, it was only 1 month. And somehow we got good service providers. We were working with a small budget. We were working with a budget of 250,000.
250,000.
And we got a venue. A wonderful woman gave us a venue in Kitisuru. We're working with invites of 150. And it was a Friday wedding. And it was smooth. Of course, convincing people from Ushago why you're doing a Friday wedding. It's not easy, but somehow they just flew with it.
Yeah.
But I remember before the dowry, there's a time I was feeling so overwhelmed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was begging
Is
if
it
we
the
would
dowry
go to
after
the AG.
dowry? After the dowry.
It was after the dowry.
Yeah, after the dowry. When you were, I think, a month to the wedding, 3 weeks to the wedding.
3 weeks to I was feeling like I can't manage the wedding because of expectations from everyone, everywhere. And I was feeling like I cannot manage. The wedding day was so amazing. Thank God for people. People really just came through, coordination from picking the bride to end of day.
Yeah, actually we did not know which car
is so beautiful.
We did not know which car is
people gave
picking
their
the
cars,
bride.
everything.
Yeah.
And we drove ourselves to the honeymoon. And after that day, we were like, wow, it's over. Yeah? Now we are starting this phase.
I said I love you. You told me to wait. In me there was that patience for someone I love. I'm glad I loved you. I'm blessed to have you. You are the only one that took me for who I am. I'm glad I loved you. I'm blessed to have you. You are the only one that took me for who I am.
So we had prepared better also for after the wedding.
Yeah.
So we had paid our rent in advance. We had moved everything in advance. So there was no gaps after the honeymoon, which we went to the honeymoon for 4 days and we came back. I remember the first time I visited him and I went to his bedroom. And he had a closet, a nice house with a closet, but his clothes were on the floor. Zile safi and zile chafu. So I was like shocked. How can you have a closet and clothes are on the floor? At least the clean ones should be on the closet. The dirty ones should be here with something. Maybe you can look for a bucket or something to put the dirty ones. And I helped to arrange. Then the next time I visited, the situation was back to default settings. So I used to wonder, now imagine I'm feeling like this and I'm visiting, what if we are living together? Because me, I would love to, if I hang my coat here, I know it's here. Next time I need it, I'll find it here. I don't want somebody who will come and, like even today, if I tell him, your blue shirt is under, it's on the second shelf under these. He will go and just throw everything. So you'll wonder, there are those things you have to adjust. So I've learned to remove clothes for him, to organize his clothes, to tell him where to put clean. Of course, there is an in there for dirty ones. So, but he still doesn't put them there. Imagine. He doesn't. I still wonder, but that is not a battle I'm going to fight. That one I'm not fighting. So there are those, of course, and for me, I think also cooking. I never thought it's that serious. I have to cook Every day, different things. I have to think. Me being single, don't even cook every day, and it's easy. I can choose to just do mandazi, chipo, chipo mwitu. And then my man loves to eat, and he loves to eat, and he eats. Sometimes I serve him. After that, he's like, I want more, and I'm like, okay.
Same stomach.
So, cooking. I have to be creative to think of variety. You know, so breakfast. I remember that day you told me, Ati, what am I eating tomorrow? I'm like, so we'll know. And he's like, you have to plan in advance. So for me, cooking is such a big thing, but I'm learning to adjust. I think that's it, but it's fun. Everything else is fun. And blanketi kunifunua usiku.
Now, for me, the thing that really used to put me off, nowadays she's adjusting,
No.
is talking to her and she's walking.
Is this because I have to do many things at the same
You know,
time?
for her, she want us to talk. At the same time, she want to continue doing other things. And now me, a typical Meru, I want her to listen to me, and I want her to leave everything else. But now you talk to her, she's in the bedroom, she's in the kitchen, she's there, and you have to shout. So that used to put me off. And sometimes, you know, she loves attention so much. And she loves every time you do something for her. She want when like now I come from work, she's there just sleeping, and then she's
Okay,
like,
no, not
go to the kitchen and bring me tea.
Okay, that's not true.
I'm like, I just arrived from
No,
work.
you know what has been going on.
And then when I'm coming from work, she tells me, pass by town, said you bring me this, said you pass through which mall. I'm like, hey, what time do you expect me at home? And when you get late, it's still a problem.
Okay, that's not
She doesn't even understand kuna jam.
You know, I've been feeling a lot tired.
Until one day I told her, no, me, I'll not be passing by town. I'll just be coming home direct. So don't send me in town.
No, you know.
Because when you get to town, there's a lot of traffic. And ukifikisha saa tatu, masimu, where are you?
No, from honeymoon, you know what you did. I came already puking, so after that I was feeling tired. I'm still feeling tired.
You're always tired.
Oh God.
And then now when she gets angry, you can open the car for her and she's not getting in. And I, as a good husband, I decide even if we are not in good terms, I'll still open the car for her. But she's not getting. Enyewe typical Nyerian. So, but then she's his and she's not. And when she decides to like go silent, she will be silent. You can talk alone from Nairobi to Meru and back. You need to understand your partner. There are those things that you just overlook and move on with life. Because when you move into marriage with a decision that it has to work, believe me, it will work. Because for us, honestly, we have no other option. We have to make it work. And it's really working. When you make love win, every time you will enjoy marriage. I find myself, sometimes I find myself saying it is not about me, it's about her happiness. That's why even when sometimes things are not good, even when I feel I am the one who is offended here, I go back and tell her, now, can we talk about it? Though convincing her to talk about it is not easy sometimes. But we just decided to make it work, and we just decided that we do not have other options. It is either it works or it works. Yeah.
So marriage is good.
By the bigger part of it we are enjoying. The big part of it, I can say that I just have the best woman in the whole world. I cannot compare her with anything, anybody. I just can, I can leave myself to lose everything, but just have her by my side. Yeah.
So yeah, marriage is amazing. It's so good to see one person dedicated to, putting every effort to make sure you're comfortable, to make sure you're fine, and he does that every day. So that is, it's very amazing. It's a good thing to have a companion. It's to be a team, to have a teammate.
Yeah.
To my husband, my babe, my boyfriend, my best friend, I'm so grateful for having you in my life. I really didn't know how marriage is, but you've shown me that marriage is actually a wonderful thing. It's actually like a piece of heaven on earth. And I'm so glad to be having it with you. Thank you for all your efforts. First of all, to feed me. And to make sure I'm just fine, for always going the extra mile. And I can only commit to love you more, to honor you as my husband and my priest, my king. Yeah, not just with the lips, but with my deeds and the attitude of my heart. So I look forward for a beautiful more years ahead, to growing all together. Yeah.
Wow.
And I love you.
Love you more. Oh. So, my babe, my wife, my everything I've ever wanted. It has been a beautiful journey with you. And I do not even have enough words to just put it how it should be. But what I can say is that you've been so wonderful to me. You are a wonderful gift. I don't say you're the best thing that happened to me, just to say it is the truth. I do not imagine my life, how my life would have been without you, honestly. You have been a pillar, you've been supportive, you've been everything I ever wanted in my life. And everything, anytime I look at you and I remember where we've come from, I feel an urge love you even more, take more care for you, and do everything that will make you happy. It's so wonderful to spend eternity with you and to serve God with you, to love together, to live together. Yeah, you're just a wonderful gift to me. Thank you so much. I love you.